Premier FM. Premier FM. radio station. Power to the nation. Premier FM.
Obi nyawaye enti susufa otutu profowe yewe wona ni metro adu sakra wo homo ti asifo enti gogu Obi nyawaye enti susufa utibiye ibodero obi eni ni Nansu onu mi nyame Ibabia Umi ye ubenya Enti bipa wani miso Ya ute biano fansa Naguko wani Nobi ya wae Bipa wani miso Minya miso Nankamba Nobi ya wae
Premier FM.
If I were in his soul, if you catch her, I won't say. I won't say me one me won't play me one catch her, I won't say.
Good evening, Ghana. Thank you for allowing me to come to your various home this evening. Thank you for always giving me the opportunity to come to your homes. Date check is situating 4th of October 2020.
Premier FM.
We have 44 days more to the 2020 general election. Yes, the election is just around the corner. The campaign is getting hotter and hotter by the day. Don't forget to tell a friend that F-Photo is live. And the show is The Current. Just like its name, we come your way each and every Saturday, making sure that you are abreast with all the issues that are emanating from within this country. Those coming from outside, we will serve you with all of them. We are just making sure that you are informed, educated, and taking through all the promises heading to this election. As I have always said, elections are all not about violence. We need peace before, during, and after our election. Democracy is beautiful. Violence is not part of democracy. whether CPP, NDC, NPP, Ghana Union Movement, or any other party. They are only disagreeing to agree. Their main motive is to make sure that they move Ghana forward. It's only the idea and the process, the method that is different. But the objective is same. And that is why I'm saying that we don't need to fight. We don't need to kill each other because of power.
Premier FM.
No blood must be shed because this year's general election will be the 8th general election when we entered into 1992 Constitution. When we decided to embrace democracy, this happens to be our 8th general election. They all have been peaceful, and we expect this year's own to also be safe. Please make sure that you like our page on Facebook. It's Premier FM Ghana. YouTube, it is the same. And share the page. Tell a friend to tell a friend that we are here to deal with all the vast matters, all the current issues. So just be here. Leave your dial here on Premier FM. Listen to me carefully. The worst form of democracy will always be better than the best form of dictatorship. Let's make sure we hold firm to our democracy, strengthening it and making sure that we make it grow for our own benefit. Just look around. Have you seen what happened in Mali? What is happening in Nigeria? Even Ivory Coast. Do you know where all the citizens of these countries find their refuge? They run back to Ghana. It means there is something in Ghana that everybody wants. And what is that? It is the peace that we enjoy in this country. So yes, I say politics must not divide us as citizens of this country. Politics must never let us shed blood. Now, today I've decided to give you my piece before I go on a commercial break. And what am I bringing your way as a piece? Listen to me carefully. Make sure you adopt the attitude of humility. Why am I saying we should be humble? Humility is key to everything that comes your way. The way you humble yourself will determine which people come your way. Your level of humility will determine those people that you attract into your life. And if you want to attract people that are wise, that will give you the wisdom that you need to go on in life, to make the right steps in life, make sure you adopt the attitude of humility. It doesn't cost much to be humble. It does not cost anything to be humble. Rather, it brings a lot of things into your life. Favor, Humility will take you very far. It will help you to dine even with the biggest people in your country.
Premier FM.
In your community. In your environment. At your workplace. Wherever you find yourself, make sure you adopt the attitude of humility. It will take you very far, I tell you. One thing that will make you humble is to do less talking and do more of the listening. Don't talk too much. Rather listen to people. Listen to wisdom. Yes, once again I say the show is The Carrot on Premier FM. We are being sponsored by Royal Media College. Royal Media College is a school of journalism, media studies, and languages. Do you want to become a journalist? Please rush to Royal Media College at the moment. Admission is ongoing. Just get in touch with them. Call these numbers: 0244 611 055 or 0275 611 055. And Royal Media College will make sure that they serve you. They train you to become the best journalist ever. It's not just journalism. Royal Media College has a recording studio too. Are you a musician? One upcoming one? Rush to Royal Recording Studios. They will help you make your dream a reality.
Premier FM.
My name is Francis Komla Mauto Alowodo. You can call me Efu Komla Mauto. I'm going on a short commercial break. And when I come back, I will introduce to you my panelists. And then we'll get everything starting. Don't switch off anything. Keep your dial here. I'll be back.
Omanfo mo pese munya nimdie be yejuma o radio, TV and newspaper mu no Royal Media College and King of Kings World Foundation and Angel TV. Mo we JHS, SHS, Empo University for 75% free scholarship akwanya so mo de besua de. Royal Media College we radio, TV station and the recording studio e de kira de sua fo nyina de. To America na be for admission form e we school office. See ya dabre ye hostel mo fie kire nyina. So mo benya ba bia da. Na ye nkosisa ye kire na ebi journalism and media studies. Ebinso radio and TV news reading, program hosting, DJing, and sports presenting. And the editors also be sound engineering, video and photo editing, camera handling, directing and script writing, business marketing, advertising, graphic designing, and ahudo bebre. Dona education service ne ICM for more England ajatu. Shishe chira kwa Kwashiman traffic light. Ye ne happy kids school dan ne din hwe ni mu. Accra. Treyan wa ya homa trofo yi so 0244 611 055 or 0275 611 055. Yawabe Fonzente video no www.royalmediacollegegh. Royal Media College, raising quality journalists and media professionals. Royal Media College. Yemawoda Yeson ebe. Welcome to Royal Media College, where becoming a media professional has just become easier and better. Are you a JHS leaver, SHS or a university graduate who has passion for the media, pass or fail? Royal Media College and King of Kings World Foundation, in partnership with Angel TV, is giving 75% free scholarship. Just grab your admission form in our school's office. We have state-of-the-art studios for our students to learn practically. We also have experienced lecturers and student-friendly learning environment. Choose Royal Media College as your school and select from our wide wide range of courses like journalism and media studies, under which we have radio and TV news reading, program hosting, DJing, and sports presenting. Other professional courses like sound engineering, video and photo editing, camera handling, directing and script writing, business marketing, advertising, graphic design, and many more. We are certified and approved by Ghana Education Service, also affiliate to ICM England. Locate us at Kwashiman Traffic Light, opposite the Happy Kids School main building. Call us on telephone numbers 0244 611 055 or 0275 611 055, or visit our website www.royalmediacollegegh.com. Royal Media College, raising quality journalists and media professionals. Royal Media College, we make your dream come true.
Good evening once again. You're welcome back. We have 44 days to the 2020 general election. We just want to make sure that you are updated. My panel is helping you to make sure that you get all the key issues that are trending, so that you can make an informed decision. I won't waste any much time. I'll go and introduce my guests today to you. Last week, Madam was absent. Something came up. But today, Madam is in the studio. Obviously, Juven is here. So I'll just go to them, introduce them to you, and then we'll get started.
Premier FM.
Juven.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
How was your week?
I don't know how to put it. Just a normal week. Nothing really happened.
Normal week. Okay. Madam, good evening. You're welcome. Last week we missed you, but we are glad and hopeful. We thank God today you are here. Nothing came up today, so finally we have Madam in the studio. Madam, how was your week?
Very tedious, but we have
Premier FM.
Thank you. Okay, so Juven, let me start with you. What will be your own comment this week that probably we don't have on our table today? What will you want to talk about today?
Premier FM.
It's still a SARS issue, really.
Okay.
You know, and
We'll get that.
yeah, no, we'll get there.
Anyway.
Yeah. And then, you know, the calls for the president, who goes as the ECOWAS chair to talk.
Okay.
I don't know whether, like, he had a certain time frame within which to say something.
Okay.
And there was so much pressure on him. And I wasn't surprised because, you know, when President Mos was around and there were issues in Ivory Coast and the infamous Diouf comment.
Yeah.
I think during a debate, the current president was like, Diouf is a failed policy. And he Dublin as ECOWAS chair at this time. I think it was only good that he had something to say about this. And those who forced him, like, when he finally spoke, it's like the Nigerians too weren't so happy with him.
Yeah.
And the back and forth and all that. But I think he did what he has to do. Yeah.
Okay. Madam.
Yeah.
Anything this week you want to talk about?
I would want to talk about the upcoming election.
Okay.
Because politicians are going round
Campaigning.
okay,
and
making sure that they win the hearts of the people.
Okay.
So what I would want to say is, we shouldn't vote based on because you come from this tribe or you love this party.
Okay.
But you should be able to vote based on the works of the people.
Okay.
Trying to weigh and know that if you vote for this person, is the person going to do what you want the person to do?
Okay.
Or you just like the person. That's why you're voting for that person.
Okay. Thank you very much, madam. Madam, I'll still stay with you. Let's start with the SARS issue, the Nigerian unrest. What do you think these youth are fighting for? Why are they protesting?
First of all, Nigeria is a democratic state.
Good.
And democracy is when the views of the people are taken into consideration.
Okay.
So, when people protest, they have issues at heart. SARS was formed as a special anti-robbery squad.
Okay.
And you know how Nigerians are. You know the rate of crime and other issues going on in the country. So this squad was formed by the government to be able to put things under control.
Okay.
And it is looking like they are overusing power. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
To the citizens, the police, the forces are overusing or they are abusing power.
Mm-hmm.
If America and other countries are facing this problem, and as Africans, you could come out and voice or speak against it, I don't see anything wrong with people protesting. Mm-hmm. Because what is even increasing the issue day in and day out is how the police force are handling the whole issue.
Okay.
People are protesting. Are they supposed to be shot? Are they supposed to be killed? Because they have the right to protest. Your response
Premier
to protesting
FM
is what is bringing up all this mess.
Okay.
So people have the right to protest.
Okay.
It's whatever the SARS is for. It's for the people. And if the same people think that the Constitution gave you the right to operate, and you are abusing your rights or you are abusing your power, and they need change, they have the right to protest.
Shouldn't the protest end after the president has said that SARS has been disbanded?
They need proof. We are dealing with a country, they are fed up with their president. They even think the president is being reluctant because this is his last term.
But this is the same person they voted. They went to the polls and voted for him. Majority voted for him. He won the election based on what the people feel about him, thinking that, or they know that he can do the work, he can do the job. That's why they gave him the power.
Yeah.
So he's the same person they are fed up with.
Yes.
Could it be that it's a fashion that belongs to the opposition party?
It could be political.
Premier
I wouldn't doubt that fact. But the issue is, did the president react when the people wanted him to react, or he reacted at his own time? Okay, the president says that it's no longer working. Does it end there? Because it's on the Constitution, so you have to go through certain procedures to make sure that it doesn't exist.
Okay.
And people have been killed. Okay, so the president saying that it's no longer in existence. Does it bring back the people who have been killed?
Okay.
Please, do you get it?
I'm getting
Okay, so it has ended. What happens to the lost lives? What happened to these people? What happens to their families?
Premier FM.
Because with the protest, it wasn't something they did against the right. The Constitution gives them that right to protest. Okay, and so they have the right to do that. If Africans could join their voice to other countries to protest or speak against things going on in US, other foreign countries joined, and it is going on in this country and people are protesting, why should they be killed? People are not satisfied. They want, yes, it has been said, but I think they want something beyond that.
Beyond that.
Probably the president coming to say he's going to punish people. Probably they'll be satisfied with that one.
Madam, let me ask this question. Is the youth, general, African youth, are they getting tired of democracy?
I don't think so, because to be able to protest, it is democracy that gives you the right.
Okay.
I think democracy is rather giving people power to speak.
Okay.
I think African youth are fed up with lies coming from our politicians.
Okay.
African youth are fed up with the disappointment that our leaders are serving the various nations
Okay.
with.
Okay.
So it is not about, if they are fed up with democracy, then they shouldn't even protest in the first place, because it's democracy that gives you the right
Okay.
to protest.
Okay.
So if you say you are fed up of democracy, what do you want? Autocracy? And with that one, you wouldn't even have the right to be able
even
to
say anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't think that the youth is really fed up with democracy, because it is democracy that gives you the right. And what has even worsened this whole issue is, you know how far now social media is going. If you should read, this was the first time people are protesting against us. Okay. But now social media is at its peak, and then everything is being posted there. The whole world is now being able to access information anywhere they want to because of the help of social media. So I don't think the youth is really fed up with democracy, because democracy is rather giving us voices to speak for our right.
Some of their demands. Listen to this one. They said they need an all-inclusive government for all the tribes, where 50% of the youth are in charge of the governance. Is that possible?
For instance, the president of Nigeria has been tagged as someone from the northern part of Nigeria.
Okay.
And they believe that he speaks or works or the things he does favors the northern part of Nigeria than the southern part. Before he won the election, it was a Fulani saga.
Okay.
Against Christian and against people.
Good. Even the youth are even saying that their northern borders should be closed, so that it will stop free entry of Fulani herdsmen. Are they trying to prevent Fulani men from entering into Nigeria?
Francis,
Madam.
the Fulani herdsmen issue, even at Agogo, you know how the government went through a lot to solve these things.
Premier FM.
We are with this Fulani issue. The Nigerian issue didn't start now.
Okay.
It goes back to the Boko Haram issue,
Okay.
why the northern part of Nigerians feel that they have lacked development as compared to the southern part of Nigeria,
Okay.
and they were demanding for division.
Okay.
We are now having a president who comes from the northern part of Nigeria. Okay, so as a northerner from Nigeria, how do you feel? You have an upper hand, and so the youth now feel insecure and feel that because the president comes from the northern part of Nigeria, he is more like doing things to favor the northness than the southness. Okay, and that is what the northerners have also been crying for, and it looks like their prayers have been answered. Because they also wanted leaders. They were fed up with leaders coming from the southern part of Nigeria, and they are now having leaders from the northern part. And so for the youth to demand for these things, it's probably based on things they have seen and experienced. They don't just get up bringing demands. You don't get up saying that, okay, I want this. You don't bring things on the table if you don't you have not experienced whatever is going on. So with the demands coming from the youth, it's as a result of what is going on within their country. We are out of Nigeria, and we don't really know what goes on there until we read. For the youth to come out with these demands, that means there's something going on.
Madam, don't you think this? My fear is that it may end up affecting the sub-region. Don't you think this has security implications on the sub-region? Because Nigeria, they are just like brothers to Ghana. So whatever happens in Nigeria has implication.
Nigerians are our wives.
Okay.
When you look at history.
Premier
and
FM.
Nigerians, unlike Ghana, it's a federal state.
Sure.
The federal government doesn't have all the powers. Okay. Powers are shared between the central government and the component units. Okay. So in as much as the president has a say, leaders within Nigeria also have a say. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Okay. The youth are now fighting for equal power. It's a 50%. Okay, why? Because they feel that all this while everything has been in the hands of the elderly ones and they are being excluded. Please, do you get it?
Yes.
Okay, so for the youth now to cry that they want to be involved in issues, it means that they feel rejected. They feel they have not been part of whatever is going on. And you see, a lot of people coming from the
Premier
northern part
FM.
of Nigeria are not much educated as compared to the southness. Okay, I've had someone coming from the northern part of Nigeria to Ghana because she was being forced by her dad to get married at the age of 13.
13.
Yes.
Wow.
And they had to put her in a jute bag with her twin sister to the south to Ghana to come and school. Okay, so even in Ghana we see the northerners to operate from a different
angle.
Good. And so there's a little competition between the northerners and the southness.
Sure.
To the extent that even when it comes to leadership position, sometimes we discriminate.
Sure.
Okay, so it's a problem, a battle of mindset, not only in Nigeria, even in Ghana. So a situation where people feel that, okay, a president comes from the southern part of Nigeria, the northerners are not secure, they feel they are not secured. A president comes from the northern part of Nigeria, southerners feel they are not secure. What do we do? Because this is the problem. Okay, even though people are being educated, the truth is how we feel about each other. Sometimes it's difficult for people to change their mentality. Please, I hope you get it.
Yes,
so that's the problem. Okay, where if the youth are involved, the youth should be educated and know more of what is going on. Because the leaders at this moment have few days to live. Okay, and a lot of youth are now being involved in politics.
I don't know if you heard the speech from their president. Was it yesterday or 3 days today? And some of his tweets, it looks like he feels that these international bodies and leaders that are not within their country are misinterpreting everything.
Premier FM.
He feels that we are not getting the exact thing that is going on with the SARS issue, and that we are giving comments out of just a gist of what we have seen, and giving them pressure to act when they are probably strategically trying to solve the issue backdoor. We don't know what they are doing.
With what you are just saying, you asked earlier on that why should the people still protest when the president has spoken? With what you just said, the president feels he's probably even speaking out of pressure. He doesn't even think it was time for him to speak. He thinks that people outside Nigeria are siding with the people protesting.
The protesters.
So that means, where do you stand as the president? You support the SARS issue going on,
obviously.
But the world is now looking up to you as a president to speak.
So many. If I think even Hillary Clinton also tweeted something about it. These big people, politicians outside the continent, make sure they added their voice to those protesting.
When do we want to add? When do we want to add our voices? Is it because it is Africa? That's the problem. If it was in US, we would have presidents
Premier
from other
FM.
nations writing long letters to address this issue. Okay, so if it is in Africa and now the president is saying that we don't understand what is going on, the question is, what is going on? We should be able to know exactly what is going on so that we don't become a second person in this matter. Because Nigerians are even saying the president of Ghana, okay. And
what, madam, in that, what do you think? Should our president be forced to say something about?
Please, we are dealing with Nigeria. We have Ghanaians in Nigeria.
He's okay. I don't think that the protesters, we have Ghanaians among them.
Yes, but it is in Nigeria and we have Ghanaians there.
Okay.
So it's not about the fact that
so our president should be concerned about what is going on.
You think if there's a protest in Ghana, Nigerians wouldn't be concerned? Within, I think, 3-4 years ago, when we were sacking Nigerians to go back, what happened? When a lot of issues were going on in South Africa, didn't Nigerians react?
Yeah, they did.
So we can't say that.
We all did anyway.
Yes.
The
so
whole continent.
it's not about the fact that Ghanaians are not being involved. So Ghanaians are not being, and you are in that same area. Wouldn't it affect you?
Yeah.
You'll be affected.
Okay. Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
SARS. Do you think ECOWAS is being slow in attending to these issues?
I don't know why you are even bringing ECOWAS in this issue in the first place. You know, let me say good evening to our listeners and viewers.
Okay.
The last time we spoke about this issue,
Premier FM.
I remember I said this issue will go beyond ending police brutality. And it's just a trigger for other things to come. I don't know if you remember.
Yes, I do.
You see, the youth are not fighting the government.
Okay.
They are not fighting the president. They are fighting a system.
Okay.
You see? And whoever feels that they are fighting him is a beneficiary of a failed system who will do nothing about it because it favors him or her. That's the kind of, you see, what we call democracy in Africa is what I call democratic dictatorship.
Really?
Yes, you only have a saying on election day. Apart from that, you don't have anything.
Okay. But we have representatives in parliament. We have our MPs who are speaking on our behalf.
When do we see them?
Our voices are being heard through them.
So you feel your MP is your voice. Do you feel that? Do you feel what your MP does in parliament? Your MP is a rubber stamp, okay? So if it's on this side, no. If it's on this side, yes, autopilot. Is that the sort of things they do in parliament? Do they represent your view?
Some of them, no, I don't think.
You see, in other countries, you can be on this side, but there's a particular issue.
Okay.
And you can boldly say you don't agree without feeling that when it's time for primaries, the party will kick you out just because you took a stance.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So we are all towing a line. So they can even do something bad when you complain, so but they brought you to parliament and your MPs were there. You understand? Because they have boxed everyone in. That's not democracy.
Okay.
You see, and I feel most of our leaders, when we moved from the 90s to the new millennium, they didn't come with us.
Okay.
Okay, we see them in person, but in terms of their thinking and everything, they are back there.
Premier FM.
So that's why the president of Nigeria spoke the way he did. You understand?
Didn't you like?
They think in those days where you see, there's this thing about us. Our parents always feel we are children, no matter how grown you are. Once you are his child or they give birth to you, you say my children. You understand? So you see, you come and talk and they'll go and sleep. It doesn't work that way anymore. And you see, there's something about this African. I mean, let me use Ghana as an example.
Okay.
Back then, you had youth groups, whether it be student groups or youth groups within communities, or Girls Guide, Boy Scouts, or a lot young pioneer, or whatever. Now, so if you have issues, they when those issues will come up at, let's say, their abilities, and when you have the grievances, is their leaders who will be leading some of these things. Okay, what have the politicians done this time? The youth groups, as we have it now, even if you are not political, they will try to box you in. So you can be at your corner, doing your own thing, and then they will come and give you, even in gyms, like area gym, a politician will go and give you money so that you are on their side. Okay, when issues like that come, all of us cannot be on one side. So by all means, some people will feel alienated, or they will not have a sense of belonging when another group has the power. Do you understand what I'm saying? So let's say, and it cuts across a lot of things. So at every point in time, a certain section of the group feel that they are not part of the system. They don't benefit. Okay? Let me use, you see, free SHS. Because of the way it is, everybody is happy about it. Even those who have issues, deep down, they know, because it's a level playing field. It
Everyone
benefits
is enjoying,
everyone.
yes,
Everyone is
everyone is
enjoying.
enjoying.
Once you pass, you have a certain. How about job creation? When they call something like NAPCO, how do people get in? Our security services, how do people get in? So when you have people, and you know, some people are not interested in A or B. They are just citizens.
Okay.
They don't want to follow this one. They don't want to follow this. They just want to live their lives. Okay. So if someone is NDC is in power. Even though if you are lucky, it's not all of them. Because we see them crying all the time. You go and follow, you get nothing,
Premier
and then you start
FM.
making noise. And then the other way around. So those people in the middle who don't have any opportunity because they are not aligned. They are either here or there.
Yeah.
And the kind of hopelessness that comes with such a situation. Mm-hmm. You don't have a job, you can't pay your rent, even though you can pay your rent, you can't pay your bills, and the job that you do can only get you food.
Okay.
And like you see, once people have nothing and they are angry, nothing can stop them. You see, so it's a system, because you remember when they complained about SARS was disbanded, and you know they didn't do well. People say they don't like something. When you say you have disbanded it, the next day or the third day, they say I've brought SWAT, and they know it's just name changing. It's not like move from JSS to JHS. It's the same thing. You understand? They know very well.
Premier
It's the
FM.
same people with a different tag. You see, so they will not agree with you. And you know, issues like this, like I said, they are still in the 1990s. They didn't come with us.
But the president asked for a dialogue.
Okay, good.
They should come to the table for a
Who
dialogue.
are their leaders?
You mean the protesters?
Yes, who are their leaders?
No one knows.
Good. So that's it. If people are angry, and you see, when sometimes you agree to something because you feel it talks to your issues. So when this movement started, and you know, unlike first where it was GBC 1, GBC 2, somebody go and say that I've done a coup and it's everybody. Now there's media, both traditional and social media. Somebody can sit in America and incite Ghanaians against you, or Nigerians against you.
Yeah.
That's what they are forgotten. So if you say they should come for dialogue, who is coming to sit with you? Because it's a headless, like, you can't say this group is led by this. It's the whole youth of, like, majority of the youth. You understand? Though you have a few people who are in the pockets of politicians who infiltrate to go and do their own thing or head some of the protesters.
Yeah.
About 90% of the youth know that, because Nigeria, with all the resources that they have, okay, they have been complaining about electricity since I've heard about them. Okay, they have complained about even fuel, though they are one of the largest oil producing nations in the world. Okay, so if they can't have electricity, and Nigeria is a very noisy place because almost every house has a generator. Yeah. And you know who we are. Maybe because somebody is a generator business, they will make sure they don't solve the power issue so they can remain in business. That's who we are as Africans. It's all about us, the leaders. We don't care about the people.
Premier FM.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it was something that was bound to happen. This SARS thing just triggered it. Because I have to have Nigerian friends and I follow them a lot on the social media pages and all that.
Yeah.
And you see some of the videos, just because you have a dreadlock, or just because you have an expensive phone, or you drive a car, they tag you Yahoo.
Yeah.
And the extortion is not like our kind of area where, oh boss, then you maybe just fold something and give it, you are free to go. They will deal with you. And you see some of these SARS people, they're in slippers, what we call chalote, and like just mufti with just a vest.
Yeah.
And you know, and I feel because of how unprofessional they have become, they can be infiltrated. Any criminal can just go and print SARS and put on anything, and then go and attack people in the name of SARS. That one is possible.
Possible, sure.
Okay, and you know, I think this started as a small, like you hear NSAS, before people started getting on the street, it was on social media. And they were there. They didn't think that, like, this thing will get out of hand. I don't think it occurred to them that this thing might get out of hand. They didn't think about it. Because when they started talking, maybe they should have come together. Okay, so these are the grievances the people have. Or even call some people, the notable people they saw among them. Because we saw some famous Nigerian actors and musicians and all that. They can call them to say, okay, so talk to your people. What do you want? What can we do? They just first one of those things, they use brute force to scatter them and it will end there. Now they are overwhelmed. Because the kind of demands the people are making, I don't think is feasible. But then, if they don't agree, the protest will not stop. That's what I see.
Premier FM.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm here.
Let me ask this. Amnesty International actually reported that these SARS people end up sometimes taking over properties that belongs to the individuals. And so far, they recorded about 82 cases of abuse, torture, and bullying. Is that, don't you think that triggered, and this report is from 2017 up to date. So don't you think that gradually it was that this triggered the whole protest? Because it started from maybe bullying one person, taking the property from another, then the numbers kept increasing.
You know, like I said earlier, SARS was a problem. But then it was a trigger to other endemic problems that they've had for a very long time. Because I saw a video in which the guy was saying he's 40 years old, he owns nothing. He can only rent a place, maybe feed the wife and children. He doesn't know what the future holds for those children and all that. You understand? And, you know, let's look at, let's take Ghana here. Maybe I'm sitting here, I'm complaining about the system, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody wants to shut me up. So they call me and put me in some office somewhere. And within like a year, my circumstances has changed so drastically. The kind of car I will drive, the house I will live in. You understand? And somebody is watching from afar. You understand?
Yeah.
So if you become an appointee of the state and that changes your circumstance, I'm not saying if you buy a V8, I should buy a V8. But you should make the system such that once I'm able to do some work, I'm able to have a decent living. I'm not saying come and give me free things. You understand? There's dignity in labor. Like you work, you're able to take care of basic things. If the government wants to support you in areas that you cannot help yourself, that's fine. But if you create a system that like almost a welfare system, then everybody have to like beg people or beg people, the government, to come and give me water, come and give me this, come and give me that. Nobody wants that. At some point, people get angry because there's no way they are living. You see, it can never be apart.
From
so
what you're saying,
equity. You see, we can't say we should be equal. Good. There should be some equity.
From what you're saying, one of their demands, they said all politicians should be placed on minimum wage to attract genuine public service. How feasible is that?
Bob Marley said, "Who feels it knows it." Okay, come and live like the way we live, so that when you go up there, you start thinking properly. We live in, like, sometimes I feel those of us like who work in rural settings.
Yeah.
We know the kind of life people live there. And even those who are nobodies, they have a lot of respect for us because they think we are fine. Okay? But they sit here and think Nigeria is Lagos or Abuja. The gap is too much. You see, the hopelessness. Sometimes somebody is making from his village to Abuja. It's like they're in some New York or something. Because even the road, you watch their movies, you see them. It's not different from our situation.
Yeah.
Okay? For us, I don't see us having a similar situation because the politicians have been able to polarize us.
Okay.
So we can't have a Ghana protest.
No.
Depending on who is organizing the thing. Is it an MPP protest or NDC protest? You have half of the nation protesting. You can never have a whole Ghana protesting. I don't see it happen. Just like, you know, when NDC was in power, there's something called AFAG, Alliance for Accountable Governance. Now, because MPP is in power, there's nothing to protest about. They are nowhere to be found. You see some of them in government because they were doing it for their party. And then when MPP was in power, we had something called CJ, led by the Kwesi Pratt and Co. So you see, everything is so Ghana, because they have money to divide us. Luckily, I don't foresee like something similar happening. My only worry is that because if it degenerates and then they start carrying arms, it's not good for the sub-region. Because then there will be provision of arms within the sub, it will destabilize the place, and then we will be forced to, you know, maybe refugee situation. And always say Ghana is peaceful. That's what happened. Lights are off. Shooting into protesters. And their president never touched on the death of those people who were killed. 69 people were killed. And he said that.
In his speech, he not a condolence to them or to their family.
But he mentioned the number.
Yes.
Okay, so like I'm saying, the man has not started his reality. Okay, look at him, look at his body language. He's more of a monarch than a president. Like, he's lost touch with this. He's up there, doesn't know what's going on down there. And I'll repeat, he are stuck in the 90s. They don't know the realities of the 21st century. They don't know the needs of people and what they have to do. You see? And you have all these ammunitions, and you can't do anything about Boko Haram. You see? Really? And I always say without fear that the kind of military we have, apart from peacekeeping, they're only good at brutalizing people. That one, they are very good at it. If a military man gets here, you discipline us very well. But to protect us, that one is not their business.
During this guy, George Floyd's death, you remember how Africa took the death of that gentleman? To the extent that even a funeral was organized on his behalf here in Ghana by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But even Nigerians, they say, I mean, the whole African continent, we all had people who marched or people went onto the street
Premier
to march
FM.
that police brutality should end there in the States. What is so different about the SARS people, those who just died by their own soldiers shooting them, that we can't say that most African leaders are quiet?
You see, we are hypocrites, number one, and we just want to be heard.
Premier
and
FM.
we love everything foreign.
Including
disaster. when the Notre Dame thing happened, you saw the tweets, and if people wanted to make donations, you are from here, dry. You want to send money to France. You have money more than they have because you want to be heard. You know, there's something about Ghana. Ghana was the first to sign on to something on the right of the child. Ghana was first to do this. Ghana first in unnecessary thing. You understand? That's who we are. Like, you see, we don't, as if you fear. Yes,
Premier
because you can't do outside gentility home cry. That's what they call it. You also have time. You see, and you go and do show in the house, your children are crying at home. You see, I don't want to use the word. That's who we are. Because so Americans should tolerate their people protesting for weeks. Okay? That one day we are okay, we want to join them. But when it's in our case, we want to silence people because we don't want to be exposed.
Madam, before I go and read some of the comments you've had on our Facebook page, what do you think about this George Floyd issue and that of Nigerians dying? Are you disappointed? Let me ask, are you disappointed at the African leaders?
Yes, they are hypocrites.
Because it looks like even the foreign, like the leaders that are in foreign countries,
you see,
have shown concern about the death of these people.
You see the video you just showed. Who were they shooting at?
Their own people, of course.
Lebanese?
No, Nigerians.
Nigerians?
Yes.
Nigerians?
Yes.
Were the protests armed?
No, they were not armed.
God bless you. You see, and the person shooting is a Nigerian.
It's a Nigerian.
Okay. So, like Juven said, you had all these things, and the Boko Haram for the northern part of Nigeria were killing people, and you didn't take these things there. We sometimes behave in a way that we allow the world to laugh at Africans.
Okay.
Because look at what is going on. Look at what went on in US. We organized funeral.
That's it.
Premier FM.
And we are now having, you asked me earlier on how these issues going on is going to affect us as a country. We have a long history with Nigeria. Nigerians are more like, they are wives. We have Ghanaians living there. And when, it's not only Ghanaians, Nigeria has 36 states. Ghana ya kola or Nigeria nisu. Like Driven was saying.
Look so.
When it comes to development, we think we are there. Nigeria is big, and the people for that, the leaders have disappointed them big time. Big time.
I see.
A squad was formed to combat crime. The police are not supposed to kill anybody. If you think someone is guilty, let the person face the law. Okay? If someone is even involved in yahoo, just take the person to court. You are not supposed to shoot or kill anybody. And all these army and then the police people know what the constitution says. They have the right to protest. Why are you shooting at them? When you go back, way back to the history of the 1948 riot, like Juven said, what sparked Ghanaians to protest on the 28th February was because they were fed up with things. Cutting down of cocoa trees, unemployment issues going on, people looking at Omar Sit's Nemu and the whites were
FM.
enjoying. Okay. It is the same thing going on now. It is not just SARS shooting people. People are looking at, even sometimes to eat gari a day, people eat soakings from morning to evening. And we are having politicians enjoying. You have people you have probably lived in the same area with. Within 1 year, their lives have changed. And then people look at their lives. And the same people who you voted for are enjoying. Why wouldn't they protest? You are supposed to serve us. We are not supposed to serve you. Okay? So in relation to this, where Africans are now mute about the whole thing going on, and we rather fighting for US. It's serious.
It's serious.
Because Nigeria is big. And so anytime their borders could be closed, and it would affect almost all African countries around us, especially Ghana. So it's a serious issue.
Thank you very much.
It's serious.
Thank you very much, madam. Okay, so a lot of comments on our Facebook page. I think I'll try and read some of them before we go for a commercial
Premier
break.
FM.
Let me read some of your comments. Kwaku Ansa Albright said, best political show. Thank you very much, Kwaku. Efiba Boa says, nice show. Thank you, Efiba. Jesus L. Immortal says, let us be very serious. We all know no president wins elections in Africa without fictitious means. That is true and can be true. Koja Farilabi says, it's become natural. Yes, it has. It has become natural there. He comes back again and says, Africa has misinterpreted democracy. Democracy does not mean democracy. So yes, he thinks that things happen in Nigeria is crazy. And some Femi Daniel, my brother Daniel comes, he is a Nigerian, a half Nigerian. So he comes and says, they ended it. Actually, they ended the SARS and formed another called SWAT, which is literally the same thing. We are finally waking up and there is the need for change. You can't continue to lie and expect us to remain silent and watch. Thank you. That's Daniel's view. Jesus L. Immortal comes back with this. He said, this is Africa, a continent where citizens are always wiser than authorities. Yes, authorities are wise when they are in a position, and when they get there, I don't hear some no. I don't hear some no. Koya Farilabi comes back to say they only remember their youth when they need to recruit foot soldiers and hoodlums to incite violence. And Anson comes back to say, can you imagine someone from Nigeria saying he would rather be a tree in Europe than a human being in Nigeria? Wow. It is because of all they have seen and they are tired.
Premier
want change.
FM.
That is all they are protesting for. They want change. Jesus L. Immortal comes back with this one. Demon crazy indeed. Animals in human bodies in the name of government officials. I know what they know shit. Konya Farilabi, thanks for this one. He says it's long overdue, long overdue. Such a mighty nation reduced to nothing over the decades simply because of few greedy old men. Also comes back. Nigeria is the 5th richest country in the world, guys. The 5th. We have fight for ourselves. That is in Africa. No European will come to support without wanting anything back. Juve, Daniel says, Juve, you have said it all. And then Kojo Farilabi comes up with African leaders are the natural disasters of the land of Africa. Other nations have earthquakes and hurricanes. Africa has politicians or political leaders. I think I have this one from Jesus L. Immortal who says you should begin a phone in segment. We will. We are actually, my production team is talking to management, so maybe by the end of next month we'll start the phone in segment so that you can all call and then share your views on all the topics that we'll be discussing. This, please continue. This is the current. Continue to send in your comments. We'll be here. Let me take this one from YouTube. Jessica, watching from Northern Ireland, she sent this one through our YouTube page saying, Francis, no, we are not tired of democracy. African youth are fed up with the oldest government not doing nothing to help the youth. And the country, a country where the old think laptops are for lazy people. Wait, Jessica, this is an insult because some of the oldies also use laptop. Okay, Jessica comes back with the same saying, exactly, they didn't disband it. They just changed the name from SARS to SWAT. Okay, Jessie. And then she says the requirement to be a SARS member is to be an ex-convict. Really, Jessie? Really, Jessie?
Premier FM.
She is saying that SARS are criminals with tax. Okay, Jessica, thank you very much for all those comments on our YouTube page. Thank you, Jessie. Continue. I think, Jessica, I will need your view on our second topic, our last, our second topic, which has to do with those of you in the diaspora, how you are preparing to vote. The EC has also introduced some regulations, some requirements to be able to allow you people to vote. So if you don't meet those requirements, Jessica, sorry, you probably may not be able to vote, but I know you have. You are a resident there, so you have that requirement. I'll go for a short break. When I come back, we will continue.
Ekwemwebie Omanfo mupese munyanim die beye adwuma o radio TV and newspaper mu no Royal Media College and King of Kings World Foundation and Angel TV momo mwewie JHS SHS Empo University for 75% free scholarship akwanya so omde besua de Royal Media College wo ye radio TV station and recording studio e digital desuafo nyina de to American befa admission form e wo ye school office ye wadabre ye hostel mu omfie kire nyina so omubenya ba bia da na ye nkosisa ye kire journalism and media studies. Ebinsu Ekahon radio and TV news reading, program hosting, DJing, and sports presenting. And the editors also been sound engineering, video and photo editing, camera handling, directing and script writing, business marketing, advertising, graphic designing, and ahudo bebre. Ghana Education Service ne IC and for more England ajeyatu. Shishye chira kwan wo Kwashiman traffic light. Ye ne Happy Kids School dan ne din hwe ni mu. Accra. Freyan wo ya homa trofo yi so 0244 611 055 or 0275 611 055. Yawabe Fonzente video no www.royalmediacollege.gh. Royal Media College, raising quality journalists and media professionals. Royal Media College. Yemawoda enso ebem.
Ekwanwa bi omanfo ya mopase munyanyimdie ne mobeye adwuma ewo radio, TV ana newspapers mu. Royal Media College efrem nyina. Broadcast journalism, media studies, radio and TV presentation, DJ ana disc jockey. sports presentation, studio technician, marketing and advertising, business communication, video and photo editing, animation, ekoto won to kura. Ghana Education Service amount Royal Media College tumia wodi train mu amabaye akukudam or the bonum. Acheche for the academy ebusu. Ubi obenya ICM certificate and na diploma. What the English and the French so etradia or Royal Media College. School yi ewo Koshiman, La Paz Motorway, opposite Happy Kids School, Accra. Yen tom kwa pick form says ya. Our school work for year war Qatar International Hostel. And after principal 0244 611 055 and 0275 611 055.
Premier FM, Ghana's premier radio station, power to the nation.
My pen, they can't write some letter. I'm waiting for Commonwealth. I beg
Premier FM.
A poor thing. Hey, Shackles, you go visit me more money. One money. Mr. Politician, care of Abai PO Box Parliament House, Accra. Ayara, one of the two Accra. What kind me? Your friend me A plus 2004. Abatwa, Wubambi Chrome on a campaign tour. Next word talk. So we didn't want the end. Come on, we say your boss. We say your hardcore.
Premier FM.
More. When me a brother boy, you know, ya who talk. Sambre no car, Cobino, Trot Robin, Piamon Cop. Maybe sound number. My what's wrong? 0244 44. Some flash open. You can start call. Ya to am we work your software. Fade your phone crack. We put on off. Now say me to why me show me TV. Me kwatia me Ghana the 50. Ya be $20 million dear Kodi. Parliamentarians yaji atum. One abura puffy. Now with him be 50 years of light off. Ayam with 50 years of epic. Into more 50 years of more power. Mame lights, mame car, mame loan, mame grant.
Premier
FM. Well, Kubro, bet this one, dear, you force. If you want to pay where you know do well like E2, I swear it will be you for declare day of national mourning. Namikane said, Ghana the 50, I ain't to the bakun see what you do. It's a Ghana the 50, a crack toothpick. Near the way, dear Simono. Hey, I no cry, a crack, not light a bob, cry, you know me, could you halfway, Yadasio, Christus for Yadasio, India the 60. Wamuyaka, Malaysia 50, technology high, and Kuma Yadidi Ghana at 50 cry, Yako crab free China, market to Abele Kuma Quine, Suecia, see a dear birthday, I like Jizalomaba Yellow House Quine, Suecia, see a dear birthday, Kaswa Ben, where you so pipe in your house, Suecia, see a dear birthday, I got some more damn names, say, oh, Suecia, see a dear birthday, Guinea when we are senior, yet tossing you know, yet $6 million, I got a car, won't be our fees in real.
Premier FM.
What on Piaman, oh, Bibini, Black Man, 2008, Yabeke. Obinka said 2008, Kurum. While we came to area and I was support Akana.
Premier FM.
Party shirt, now what I'm a party flag. Ubebe grasses and Ube campaign. No way, Hona, ye Bessie will say, hey, honorable. I say, Uka, ye wamba, eh. School dine bubu and boy, equine to boy, say one mamma, I feel we will be loose to what it. School dine bubu, boy, equine to boy, say one mamma, I feel we will be loose to what 50th anniversary, Jaja and Cock, ways to say, Ghana for Pecasa Crado. What be an idea motion?
You are welcome back to Premier FM. This is the current. And at the moment, our next discussion has to do with EC's balloting, arrangement on the ballot paper. And without wasting any much time, I have someone on the phone by the name of Mr. Lord Akam, who is a numerologist. So I would just go straight on the phone and then ask you some few questions if this has any implications on the voting. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Hello, Mr. Lord.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening to all your listeners too.
Thank you. Thank you for making time to talk to us this evening.
It's a pleasure. Anyways, I was preparing to drive out today for a program, but I still have to wait for
the call. Okay, thank you
I
very
still have
much.
to wait for your call to be through before I actually move out.
We are grateful. Okay, so let me ask. You have been following and you realize that the EC did their arrangement on the ballot paper that came within the week, and for the two main political parties, the major political parties, that's the NDC and then the NPP. NPP happens to be the first on the ballot paper, and then NDC the second. Does this have any implication on their votes?
Your position on the ballot paper has an implication.
It has?
It does have an implication, but not so much of an implication.
Okay.
It doesn't dominate the outcome of the event that much as we may think that because they appear as such on the paper, they automatically, they should be what? They should be, the one should be greater than the other, or one comes first before the other. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
Yes, it doesn't work that way.
Okay. But don't you think if you are first on the ballot paper, it makes it easier to be identified?
If it comes that way, that was my next point to be made, and you finally jump into it.
Okay.
Your position on the ballot paper makes it very easy for you to be identified with respect to voters getting to know where they can find you for them to vote. That's very true. But with respect to us, you being first on the paper automatically makes you a winner. Will be a different thing altogether. Because remember, some years back, MPP were somewhere around Asieho, which I remember some years back, MPP were going by the slogan Asieho, meaning that they were somewhere below. I think they were the 8th position or say the 4th or some years back, and they were the last at the bottom, but they were able to win. So, if we are going to go by such as where you belong on the ballot paper, determine wholly or fully that you win, then we're actually missing something. Because bear in mind, your position on the ballot does not only end over there. Your activities, your record also needs to count. You are dealing with human beings. Human beings who also have the mind to think, to assess situations. That's two. Third point is how much you've also gone out there and then campaign for people to know you and then get to listen to your message. That should be the third point. The fourth one will become the spiritual activities which have been the spiritual effort which has been put into the activity itself. The spiritual effort which has been put into place by both parties. That also counts. So you can be the first but still lose if your spiritual activities are not on point. So if we are to go by the ballot paper, it's not enough, although it adds up certain value. But not enough to determine the outcome of an event or the elections. Anyways, should we delve deeper? If it's not enough, even with respect to spirituality or spiritual implications, then what are the other conditions that makes it possible? The vibrational frequency of the political parties involved also counts. Two, the vibrational frequency of the two contestants leaving these parties also counts, which is John Dramani Mahama and then Nana Akufo-Addo. Their vibrational frequency also counts. Their birthday vibrational frequency also counts. Their names also count. You get it? Their life cycle also counts. Yes, all these things count. So just taking on just their position on the ballot paper is not enough. Bear in mind, we were here when NDC won. That was 2008, and they also won in 2012 with the candidacy of Mahama. But this year Mahama lost in 2016.
And in 2016 he was the first on the ballot paper.
And then he still lost. So now here comes the question. So does you being a number one count? There are so many things that goes in there. So technically speaking, what we need to actually ask ourselves is, in which position are these two personalities and their political parties? What is the vibrational frequency of the year? And how harmonious are their individual vibrational frequencies to the vibrational frequency of the year, which is the number of the year. And also the number of their names, of their vibrations, the number of their parties, even the colors of their parties and the color of the year. All these things count. Bear in mind, this very year is actually under the influence of Mercury by day influence, and then Uranus by year number influence. So day for the first day of the year, which is Mercury, or Wednesday. And then the number of the year is 2022 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0, which is 4, Uranus. So these are the two planets ruling this very year.
Okay, sir, does that mean that even a smaller party occupying the first position on the ballot paper won't make any difference? Let's say, let's look at maybe Ghana Union Movement, which they are new even on our ballot paper.
Yeah.
Should they have taken the first position on the ballot paper, it wouldn't have made any difference?
It wouldn't have made any difference because their position over there will still be empowered by their track record, how popular they are. All these conditions count. That's why I always say it's not about spirituality counts in everything that we do, but spirituality does not take the all in all because our individual activities in the physical form also counts.
Okay. So
you get it.
Someone will say elections has nothing to do with spirituality. Is that false?
Elections has nothing to do with spirituality. Is that a question?
Yes. Does election has anything to do with spirituality?
Okay, if that's what the person says, then I wouldn't challenge him.
Okay.
But those who know and understand whatever is being done will understand that yes, it really counts.
Okay.
Because bear in mind, why do you think during electional periods we find a lot of people going missing? So if it doesn't count, then what does happen?
Okay, so we are actually just asking questions that people out there, listeners and viewers out there will be asking. Let me ask this this on behalf of our listeners. Even we have pastors that think that if you are positioned on the ballot paper in a way, it means that you have luck or you have been chosen by God for that year's election. What's your take on that?
I wouldn't even allow them to even end because bear in mind the first balloting when they casted, MPP was 4, NDC was 8 on the ballot paper.
Yeah.
Before they went for recasting because they said the position were not favorable and they went for recasting. They called for recasting of what? Of the lots. And when they cast the lots again, MPP came 1 or had 1 and NDC had 2.
Okay.
So the question is, where was God? Was God the one who actually chose the first 4 and 8, which was changed to 1 and 2, which was changed to the first and second position for these two parties, or what?
We've actually we've been in this country where you see pastors predicting the outcome of elections, and some they end up probably getting it right. Not probably, some end up getting it right. Do you think this actually works? That a pastor can see the results of an election even ahead of the election?
You made mention of the word prediction. Yeah. I really love that. Prediction is actually having what making a projection or speaking of something in the future based upon information available to you now, right or wrong. That is it.
Yeah.
So we can all predict into the future, looking at the conditions or the information available to us now. And bear in mind, in Ghana, it's always NPP, NDC. So should you predict and tell me that it's going to be NPP automatically or it's going to be NDC automatically, either one of them will take it. What have you done?
Premier FM.
You haven't done anything new. Okay. You haven't done anything new. Because I always say this, spirituality works, but spirituality is not for showing off.
Okay.
Whoever knows me realize that in 2016, we also made such a prediction with my society. Yeah, and even this very year, we also made predictions even concerning this year and the things that will happen within this year on my page, which I did a live reading on my page with marker, formica board, white formica board, and with my marker. I did that reading, and whatever I said is happening now. Does that mean I'm a God? Does that mean it's God speaking through me? Does that mean that everybody should come and naturally bow at my feet because I said something right? No. It's just because I have some keys, I have an understanding towards certain things that happens around us.
Okay.
You get it?
I'm getting it.
So always trying to actually give God the glory. It's good to give God the glory because once you give God the glory, you're actually trying to actually speak of the fact that you don't know it all, but there's something beyond you, which is the universe itself or the universal energy, which is right. But should it be that because I said this, that I am the man of God? No, nobody is the man of God. We are all sons and daughters of God.
Okay.
But this is what we need to understand. This very election, bear in mind, should we even go by the numerical vibration of this very year? This very year being ruled by 4. 4 has an affinity with what? With 1, number 1 vibration.
Okay.
Bear in mind that the moon, actually what? The vibrational frequency of the moon is what? Is 2 and 7. The vibrational frequency of the sun is what? Is 1 and 4.
Okay.
1 for the sun and 4 for Uranus. So these two numbers are harmonious.
Okay.
And then 2 and 7 are what? Is also what?
Premier
2 for the moon, and then 7 for Neptune, which is also harmonious with themselves. So they always work together.
Okay.
Bear in mind, Uranus is actually what? Uranus is actually the feminine aspect of the sun. So the number 4 is actually the feminine aspect of the number 1.
Okay.
Now, number 2 is actually what? It's actually the number 2, which is the moon. It's actually the feminine aspect of Neptune. So Neptune, which is number 7, is actually the feminine aspect of what? Of the moon, which is number 2. And bear in mind, all this while, the moon itself is actually what? It's actually the negative aspect of what? Of the sun.
Okay.
So the sun is the positive pole of what? Of nature.
Okay.
And then what? The moon is actually what? The negative pole of nature.
Premier FM.
Which was symbolized by Adam and Eve in the Bible.
Okay.
Anyways, we shall go there. That's a different topic.
A different topic. Okay.
So these very two aspects which is being spoken of over here. So should we go there and we are going to go by this very principle? Then number 1 also will favor MPP, which also lies there.
Okay.
Which will make them harmonious with the vibrational frequency of this very year.
This year. Okay.
At the same time, number 2, which will also make them what? Will also make NDC harmonious because number 4, which has affinity with the number 1, is also what? The negative aspect of what? Of the moon. So okay. 2 and 7 also what? Harmonious with what? With 1 and 4, which still place them within the same frequency over there.
Okay.
So I would say this very year is actually what? It's actually a very year that your works will be what will manifest what you are what is going to come down.
Okay.
And it's going to be a tie. And that's what we should be expecting. It's not going to be like a walkover.
Okay.
More specifically, what you need to understand is that the number 4 vibrational frequency is a number that always poses challenges to whoever come across it. And if you don't take care, it escalates everything into what? Into the extreme.
Okay.
Which should be understood why we are seeing all this violence all around the world, from America to UK to this, including COVID-19, whatever.
I see.
These things are just the influence of the number 4. So we shouldn't be expecting a what? The only thing I can tell you, we shouldn't be expecting a smooth election this very year.
Okay.
So all these things happening with this, we shouldn't be expecting a smooth election this very year. As we are seeing, as we are seeing, there is very resting turbulent thing, and that's the major aspect I would like to hammer.
Okay.
And unfortunately, our politicians are trying to play along the violence line. And this very year, we don't joke with violence. The little violence you try to instigate, it will be escalated into something bigger than what you can think.
Okay.
So the little thing you will do, it will actually carry on the fire to what? Whatever it is. And this is the secret. Whoever will win this very year's election can carry through to the end of their tenure.
Okay. So
in 2023, whoever wins from this very year in 2023, they will either lose their seat. And how will they lose their seat? Either they will die or there will be a revolution.
Wow.
This has been said by me since 2 years ago. Last year I made the same prediction, and this year.
Okay. So my panelists want to ask you one question. So let me allow Juven to do that. Juven.
Good evening,
brother.
Yeah, I want to know, do politicians consult people like you?
Do the politicians consult?
I mean, do they consult you? Like, do they believe in numerology?
They do very much. They do very much. Why was it that when they actually casted the first lot, when they had 4 and 8, they actually went back to change it because they know the frequency of the year and they know what that thing can bring and they know their intentions of what for this very election. So why did they go back to actually recast it for them to take 1 and 2? They know.
Okay, so like, do you sometimes like recommend a number and tell them that if they're able to get this number or position, it boosts their chances of winning? Yes,
politicians, one thing you need to understand is that yes, they consult so much.
Okay.
But the other aspect is that because they are selfish, they always consult in situations that will benefit them and their negative activities. But how did they consult for the well-being of the nation? Which is one thing we always know. Those of us who know.
Thank you.
Madam, do you have any question for Sir?
Yes. You just spoke about the fact that 2023, anyone who wins the election, it's likely for us to lose that person.
Yes, please. I said that.
Is it related to what happened to our late president?
Is it related to what happened to our late president?
Ivan Satanios.
Premier FM.
Okay, whichever way it is, there is what you need to understand. Ghana's destiny is the number 4 destiny, which tells you why they are in a very grave danger this very year, which also is a number 4 vibrational frequency. America is also a number 4 vibrational frequency.
Okay.
That's by our current destiny. So we shouldn't be. But bear in mind, Ghana, from the year 1952, 1957, so 1 plus 9, 10 plus 5, 15 plus 7, 22. So every 22 years, an event of an identical nature happens. So when was the first 23 years? That was 1979. We had a coup, and that coup was carried out on what? On 4th June, right?
Yeah.
Or December 31st. Thank you. Why did Rollins choose 4th June for that election? For that revolution? Bear in mind, anytime Rollins actually holds a coup or plans a revolution on the number 4, which is 4th June and 31st December, he wins. By the very time he went for 3rd July or so, he lost. Why did he lose? So every 23 years, an event of an identical nature happens. So from 1957, 23 years was 79. The next 23 years or so was 2001. An event of an identical nature, which there was bloodshed and there was struggle around the nation. And what happened? That was what? That was the May 9th disaster. And the next 23 years to be what? Will be the year 2023. So every 23 years, an event of an identical nature that carries the year the land by storm always happens. So we should be ready for that in 2023. It's our destiny. We can't run away from it.
Thank you.
All right, so Lord, let me ask the last question and let you go. This year's presidential candidates, it looks like the number has increased more than any other year we've had. What is so special, and what do you think made this year's ballot paper full of presidential candidates?
Bear in mind, in every political system, politics goes with strategy. Okay. Politics does not go with morality.
Okay.
Every politician is a strategic person, not a morally inclined person.
Okay.
So whatever they do, they look at how they can actually work things out. Bear in mind, no politician or politicians wouldn't give chance or opportunity because they just want to give chance and opportunity for things to happen. They always have an intention. And one thing you need to understand is that having all these people on the ballot is just to what? Is just to spread up votes. That's one point.
Okay.
Because the more people are more established over there, the more we can actually spread up people's votes or our positioning votes. It's just a strategic way of doing stuff. Okay. Because we can find Credit Rollins over there, and should she embark on the campaign wherein her husband, who is also a major founder of one of the major opposition party, backing her or whatever in her presence, automatically we are going to square up the votes and actually divide it up. Okay. So it's a whole strategic means. We don't just accept people because we want to accept them.
Okay.
So a politician doesn't give chance because he gives. He actually knows the pros and cons and the benefits it will bring to him or her. Okay. They measure before they do it.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your time, and I'm hoping that my producer talks to you backstage so that during and after the election we'll have you in the studio.
Okay, please.
Yeah, so that we can have an in-depth explanation of all these things.
Premier FM.
Okay.
So my producer will do that for me backstage. Thank you very much once again. We'll allow you to go.
You're welcome.
That was Lord Akam's voice you just heard. He is a numerologist and just explaining some of the key things that has to do with this balloting and other stuff. Let me go to my panelists and ask them. Juven, does the number actually matter? Where you fall on the ballot paper, does it matter?
For me, I think I'm a numerologist.
Okay.
And I have no reason to doubt. I have no reason to. No, I believe in certain things, okay? I have my own spiritual side. I might be weird than him, so don't worry. You see, for me, coming to the physical level, not cosmic or astrological, like just physical level, I think it's good for branding and sloganeering.
Okay.
And that's where it ends. Like, Because if you put sometimes strategic for easy identification. So if you are top, you say Esroho or Aseo for easy identification. And it's for people who have not decided.
Okay.
Or people who can pay attention to detail. Okay, because for every normal person or someone with some little education, if you are going to vote for MPP and even they don't state the position and numbers, you know their symbol. Okay, so you just go look for MPP or Nana and then point, or go for John Mahama, the umbrella. So you look for the sometimes you don't even care whether it's Nana. There's a symbol. Okay. Well, you know the umbrella, you know the elephant. What again? So like the fowl or something. Those people don't really matter. They're just making up the numbers. I'll not waste my time. You know, some of these things. The only worry I have about this thing is that the proximity of the two major ones, and you know the kind of confusion it might bring if somebody doesn't really pay attention and put their thumb in the middle. Exactly, because if it goes a little into one's area. The issue of rejected ballots. You see,
between these two people,
yes, that's my only issue, because I really wish they were very apart from each other. You understand? But in this case, that's how we have. So they will have to, because NCC should be educating on some of these things, even how to position your whole arm so that your thumb can print. You know, even the cards they gave to them, they have taken some back. NCC, like, they're almost, I don't know what to call them. They are just there, you know. Once a while, but I think the parties have to take the voter education very seriously, like they take other things. So they educate people how to thumb print and all that, so that the rejected ballot will not be teared again. Okay. Almost every time you have election, either NDC or MPP first, rejected third. The other people don't get enough votes, like the rejected ballot. So we want as many valid votes as possible. So the education should go on, and the parties should take that because it affects them. And not me. I mean, whoever comes, I'm there.
Okay, madam, what do you think? Their numbers, their position on the ballot paper, especially the two main political parties, the MPP and the NDC.
Watching the pictures, President Sanado is in suit. Mahama is also in suit.
Okay, so they should use the pictures.
No, like with what Juven just said. The difference is the logo. Okay. They're almost all in suits. They're all having sakura.
Okay.
Yeah. With, I think, NCC has a lot of work to do. Electoral Commission itself. And then the political parties themselves. Okay. Because the position, number one, number two. And normally, you know, those are the rural areas, and those who, some have to even be directed who is at the top and who is at the down.
Of course.
People have eyesight problem, the old ladies who still want to vote. And like Juven said, even folding the paper itself, you could vote for a Seho or a Soho, and then you try to fold it like this, and double printing will come. Okay, so NCC has to educate people about folding. You don't fold like this. You have to fold into the face of the person. And then when you also even try to thumb print and you are shaking a little, the space is not that big because there are 12 people. If it was about 3 or 4 people, then probably Electoral Commission could print the ballot papers in a way that, it is spacious. Okay. So your thumb will have a big space to do your thumb printing. Okay. But we are having 8 people who are supposed to be on, I don't know whether they will divide and do a 6-6. But we are having 12 people on a ballot paper. Yeah. And so more education has to go there. And the political parties have to now get their campaign songs. So the number 2 and the number 1. But I'm not happy, Francis. I'm not happy about one thing.
What is that?
You know, MPP has worked so hard to get here. Okay. I am feeling like Ghana is turning into a 2 political party system.
Okay, 2 party system.
And other political parties are being shadowed. And these two political parties keep on disappointing us. Okay, so what stands for what's the plan for the future? A situation where if you are not for MPP, you are for NDC. Yes, these people are not doing anything. They are still disappointing us. Okay, but we keep projecting these two parties, and I don't blame them. Some people would want to vote for. I remember when Papa Sindum was 4 years ago. People wanted to go, but
Premier FM.
But we should also have in mind that MPP didn't just get in here. They worked hard.
They were.
So we should also give other political parties the chance. Ekadonko is working so hard.
Really?
Yes. To get there. So we should give them the Juven said those people, he doesn't want to talk about them, but they are working so hard.
Okay, but let me stay with you with the last one. The EC has, with the ROPA, the EC is trying to bring new requirements so that those outside the country, people, Ghanaians in the diaspora, will try as much as they can to meet that requirement before they vote. The first one they were talking about is that you have to be sure, or you have to make sure that you are a permanent resident there. You are a resident there. Not that I say, and you say, we are. So if your papers are not good, you will not be allowed to vote. Is that constitutional?
I would even say that. First of all, we are not in normal times. Okay. So it's constitutional because even in this country, you have to get a qualification to vote. You have to get a card. Okay. So, unfortunately, with the requirement, it's very, very hard. Okay. But that is the requirement of the EC. Okay. And we are not going to get people in their numbers to vote. Okay. It's people are hiding out there. People are perching outside the country. Okay. Yet it looks like now their
Premier
political
FM.
rights has been limited because even though people have the right to vote, it is a limited franchise now
for them.
Yes. Okay. And with that, it's a harsh one. I have to be frank. It's a harsh one because that means if you don't have documents, you can't determine what goes on in this country. Yeah. I was thinking it would be like if you have your card, because we are not voting for US, we are not voting for UK, or we are not voting for South Africa. Yeah. But for Electoral Commission to say that if you don't have your papers, papers as what? As a Ghanaian or as someone who...
As a citizen of that country. No, as a resident of that country, your papers are right. As in, you are not living there illegally.
But we are not voting for where you are living.
Exactly. That's why I was asking if the EC's requirements are just...
It's very hard. We are not voting to determine where you are situated now, like whether you are in US. Okay. US won't allow you to even vote if you have your papers. Are you a citizen
of that country?
Okay. But if they are supposed to be there, fold their arms and then let the few people who have the papers vote.
Looks like you've already disenfranchised some people.
Yes.
Because the requirement in our constitution says you have to be 18 years and above. You have to be of sound mind.
Exactly. So it is more like a limited franchise there.
For them.
But they have a say in what goes on in this country. Yeah. There's this guy in US. I don't know that you have watched his video 24/7. And he's always on the government.
His name is 24/7.
That is
his name is Trini Jonas. Okay. But anytime he's talking 24/7, the system is working.
Yeah. And he'll be walking through the streets of the state.
Heaven
on earth.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And he's on the government.
I like him.
You like him, right?
Yeah.
He speaks the truth. Okay, so such person, if he doesn't have his papers and he knows what is going on in the country, Oba Ghana 30 years ni. Okay, only me because man who phone be or the baby no say we are still in the ancient.
We just mentioned his name and he came online.
Okay, people have been to Ghana. People come to Ghana almost every year. People come to Ghana almost every month or something because of the business they do in.
Okay.
Someone hasn't been in Ghana for 30 years, 40 years, and the person has his papers, but doesn't even know what goes on in the country. He doesn't even know. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that is the situation, it's unfortunate. Seriously.
Okay. Joel, what do you think about this?
For me, I don't think they're even talking about this election, right?
This election.
Are they talking about this election? Like people outside voting this election?
Yeah.
How did they register?
That is the thing. They will not even register them.
So for me, I think it's something for the future.
Too late.
No, it's something for the future.
Someone also, I think.
You see, this whole Roper thing is a recipe for disaster.
Really?
Yeah, like
Premier
you know,
FM.
You see, when you take a place like America, federal state, 52 states.
Yeah.
So how are the polling stations going to be like? And are they going to vote both presidential and parliamentary?
Okay.
And they are voting parliamentary, which constituency?
Exactly.
Do you understand? So I feel with technology and everything, over time, we might get to that point. Just like Americans here can stay in Ghana and cast their ballot in elections and all that.
Yeah.
We will get there someday, but not in this election or even the next one. Okay. My reasons are these. You see, the embassy in America, I don't think it's one. You might have one in Washington and 2 other places because of proximity safe. Some people are very far off from where the embassy is and all that, so we have to get another place.
Yeah.
Now, at every point, whoever is appointed ambassador is from the ruling government. Okay? Now, even down here, we don't trust ourselves. Who are going to be the agents of the political parties there? How are we going to, like their results, are you going to accept them the way it is? Are you going to say this one is in charge and down here he's losing and I bring some bloated numbers from out there to come and favor him or something? So with all those things, let's just focus somewhere here. Our brothers and sisters out there should tell us who they think we should vote for, and we vote for it because, and you know, you can't let people in certain countries. There are Ghanaians all over the world, including Afghanistan.
Okay.
When COVID came, you know, footballers who were stranded in places we never thought they'd go and play football.
Yeah.
So you cannot go and mention some 10 countries and say Ghanaians they are going to vote. And then leave other places. But it should be fair. You say every Ghanaian living everywhere should have the chance to vote. If that's a ROPA, because it's a representation of the People's Amendment Law or something.
Yeah.
So is every Ghanaian? So are Ghanaians in America going to vote? And then those, let's say Suriname, where I know people are playing football. That one because we don't have a consulate or an embassy there. Yeah. That one they cannot go and vote. You see. So let's focus on what is going on at home. We have voted without them since 1992, and nothing has happened. I know they remit us, they contribute and everything. If they happen to be down when we have election, they should vote. This whole thing is a recipe for disaster for me.
Okay.
Just an opinion, though.
All right. Actually, we're trying to reach the MPP chairman in South Korea on phone for him to give us a gist of what is happening there, their preparation. But my production team have tried and we couldn't. He couldn't respond. So maybe next week we'll have him on the phone for us to revisit this particular topic. Julian, your final comments. Any shout outs to your?
Let me say shout out to Anson Femi Daniel.
Okay.
I know he's my number one fan. Yeah, so shouts to him.
Okay.
Shout to Adjua. Today I couldn't prompt her, so she couldn't listen to us.
Okay.
And then regards to Mr. Alex of Kaswa.
Okay.
And all the people of St. Martin's Catholic Church.
Okay. Yeah. Madam.
Francis. I would want to appreciate the effort of our listeners and our viewers.
Premier FM.
And my husband, Jesus Ali Mortal.
Okay.
Kudra Farilabi, staff of Idol College.
Okay.
And then all members of Kingdom City of Immortals.
All right. Thank you very much, man.
Hey, Apietus, on paper. Nicholas, my pen. They can't write some letter. I'm where's my homework? I beg, make you spend.
Thank you all for listening.
Hey, Shackles, you go spend me more money. Mr. Politician.
This show was sponsored by Royal Media College.
Hey,
I told you Royal Media College is a school of journalism, media studies, and languages. If you want to contact Royal Media College, just use this phone number 0244 611 055 or 0275 611 055. If you want to sponsor the show too, please kindly get in touch with my production team and sponsor us. The current is being done with you. Partnership with you. We always sit here on Saturday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. to give you all the key issues.
You for the clear day of national morning.
I'm reminding you that we have just 44 days to this year's general election. Please make sure that you are violent free. Promote peace. And make sure that our democracy grows. That's the beauty of democracy. Disagreeing to agree. I would want to thank my production team, starting from my executive producer, Mr. Nanedo Asante, and to my producer, Mr. Collins Boateng. Our social media manager, I haven't forgotten you, Ebenezer, prompting me that time.
Black man.
And then my DJ Classic.
2008.
Thank you for passing through.
All
of you who listen to us, say thank you. Especially Anson Daniel, Stella Chumwa Dochi. She says, nice program. I greet you, especially Juve. Dochi. The show is The Current, hosted by your noble servant Francis Komlama. Etel, my greetings to you. I'll be watching you on Monday. I'm out of here.
And I must mood in a tamino. When I'm sending a Mukanya, Mubagan and D50 Mubafay Momina Yedi 30 years and 20 years and say the core of 50 plus minus 20. Would the Boma again, and this for almost the same. Gonna be 40 minutes,